Thank you again for coming on The Shift. This is my Wednesday training at 12 o'clock. It is every Wednesday. And our topic for today is just looking to let's write an offer, right? I mean, this is where we're at. And that's what I'm saying is that we need to know how to get that buyer off the fence. And, if you've been in the business for a while, you sometimes don't practice this type of dialogue because some of the buyers that we work on, they are maybe referred and it's a little bit easier. But, during a tougher market like now, your skills have to come out. You have to go out and really put some real estate skills out there to close some deals in this market. Some of you I know are working 3 times harder than the normal market that you're used to, especially in the last 10 years, longer, 12 years. Imagine we had a 12-year run. It was amazing, right? Even during COVID, even when we thought the market was not there, it still kept going. In 2020, 21, 22, the market we're still selling good real estate, even though from the comfort of our home. That was an amazing time. During the COVID era, I adjusted my business and created an interesting model for myself and my family. But we're talking about just looking to let's write offers. So let's get right into this. Why buyers hesitate? Well, they have fear of overpaying, waiting for the perfect home, unsure about finances. Well, this is where you as a professional need to push them if they're not sure about their finances, because we have a lot of buyers that are hesitant. They don't want to give their tax returns, or they don't want to do their pay stubs. But this is where you need to continue and just say, hey, we need to know, so whether you're buying now or tomorrow or next year, you need to know about your finances, and we could position yourself accordingly. If you have some dings on your credit, we could fix that so that we could position you, right? So you want to push them to get them going, because if they're going to buy, today, tomorrow, or next year, you want to be able to get that financing together. Information overload. Sometimes, I don't like to give too much information. I don't like to go over any disclosures, etc. in the beginning of the consultation. Maybe I'll go over a little bit of escrow and the steps, but I'll shorten it up so there's not information overload. Okay? Need more urgency to act. That's what it is. Okay, agent's role: shift buyer's mindset from browsing to buying. Build urgency without pressure. Okay? Using scripts that spark clarity, and we'll go over that later. Turn tours into emotional connections. All right, well, here's some scripts that build urgency. Here's a scarcity script. Homes like this don't last long. If this checks most of your boxes, waiting could mean losing it. I mean, these are simple scripts that you could use as your, when you're out there showing property. Sometimes you got to take a person and say, well, I know we're not going to buy, but let's go take a look at home. And mentally that they're qualified. Maybe you worked with them in the past. Maybe you worked with their parents. But in your head, because sometimes you have to make a judgment, are they worth showing without a pre-approval? Well, if you're so busy, then yeah, pre-approval is a must. But if you're you have time, because a lot of us have time, then, making a judgment. Let me give you an example. Just last month, I have an agent here, my neighbor. I brought her and I'm helping her build her business. She had somebody approach her, and the person looked rough around the edges, to say the least. She asked her husband, somebody called me, they want to take a look at some homes. And she hesitated. This is a $2.4 million buyer. And, in the beginning, he looked just the way he looked. And the reason why I know this is because the loan went to my wife. My wife is a lender. And she went in and showed. And boom, she got into contract. 2.4 something million, I think 2.5. But anyways, the point is, She had some time. She went out there and she just closed a deal last week. Commission was like 60 grand, right? And so, sometimes you gotta just make those judgments. So anyways, let's go back to this market movement script. Every month you wait, interest rates or prices could shift your monthly payment by hundreds. Acting now protects your buying power. I mean, that's just a really strong script, but you need to go ahead and say these to some clients. FOMO script, fear of missing out. That's what that means. Other buyers are looking at the same home today. The question isn't if it'll sell, but who gets it. Okay, this is the fear of missing out. Nobody wants to miss out. Lifestyle script. Imagine moving in next month. Holidays, dinners, family time in this space. Would it be better to start creating memories now? Clarity script. It sounds like this home checks out 8 out of 10 of your boxes and your needs. What's stopping us from making it yours today? I mean, these all have to be, because have you ever showed homes and you went to show weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend? The reason why you're showing so many homes is because you're not giving these qualifying questions. These are questions, closing questions, that's gonna move the needle. Okay, so okay, let's go. All right, I'll see you Saturday. Okay, I'll see you at that address. And then you go show 10 properties. Then the next following, another 10 properties, 20 properties. And you're wondering, aren't they gonna make an offer? Well, this is the reason why you want to understand your scripts, so then you could go ahead and shorten that up, because your days are super important. And I had just had this conversation last night with another agent. I said to him, isn't your weekends important to you? Imagine you're worth $250 an hour. And, if someone asks you to show a property as a favor on Sunday, oh, wow, that's around $1,000 that you're taking away out of your pocket and away from your family. So make sure you put value to your weekends. And he said, yeah. I said, okay, well, make sure when you talk to the seller that you, that your time is valuable, and just showing a client because he wants you to show, that it's a big property. I mean, it's a $6 million property in San Francisco. I mean, but at the end of the day, they better be making sure that he's getting paid for his time. So home tour hacks that spark commitment. Okay, preview like an insider. Walk them through as if it's their own. Point out how furniture, kids, and lifestyle fits. Touch and feel, encourage them to open cabinets, walk the backyard, stand at windows. Physical connection always creates ownership, right? Future pacing. Picture your mornings here. Where would you put your Christmas tree? I mean, I said this maybe 3 weeks ago. It was a beautiful living room and there was a corner and it had high ceilings. I said, that would be an amazing place for a Christmas tree. Don't you agree? Silent moments. Stop talking, let buyers emotionally absorb the space. Silence create ownership thoughts. Compare and anchor. Subtly reference other homes they didn't like. This kitchen feels more open than the last one, right? And that's a good one. Create scarcity on site. Share recent activity on the listing. The agent said they've had 8 showings this week already. Overcoming the just looking objection. Here's the script. Totally understand you don't have to decide today, but let's look at the numbers together. If the home fits, would it make sense to secure it before someone else does? Many of the clients started just looking. The difference between them and buyers who missed out is that they acted when they found the right fit. You must ask these questions, because some clients, you're going to be at 30 homes. I think my record was around 70 homes. Can you imagine? I showed 70 homes to one client. Whew, that was early in my career. And one of the things about showing homes, and I heard this from a broker I respect, they said, get the criteria, spend more time on the criteria, ask specific questions, and tell them, I will not send you properties that is out of your criteria, so why even bother continuing to look, because I will send you your specific criteria. And when I see you this coming Saturday, we're gonna see 3 properties, and they're gonna be right there on your criteria. And when they go out and show, they show 3 properties. They show one that needs a lot of work, a medium one, and a move-in one that's just amazing. Of course, if they're the type of client that's looking to move in, you go to those 3, and your target is for you to write an offer on that 3rd property, that move-in property. And they were successful at it, and boom, their showing went drastically down. Imagine if you could just show 3 properties to the client, get them in contract, because you were specific, you were intentional, and you told them exactly, I will show you the house that you told me that you want. That means in one weekend, you could show maybe 2, 3 clients, maybe even 4 clients if you're that good. So, and that'll increase your volume by triple, even quadruple. Okay, from tour to offer. Revisit top 3 features they loved. Restate urgency. Ask closing questions. Would you regret losing this home more than writing an offer? Guide to next step, write the offer. Okay. Here are some final takeaways for today. Buyers start with curiosity, agents create clarity. Urgency equals protection, not pressure. Home tours should sell the experience. Your role, be the bridge between just looking and let's write. I mean, I know many of you have a lot of clients right now. Even in this market, it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, when you seen the market coming, when the rates were going from 6.5 to 7, 7.5, which was last year, you know, beginning of the year. I mean, if once you see that, you as a professional need to increase your activity and be prepared, sharpening your skills and increasing your prospecting. Because if you didn't, guess what? I know your income was affected this year. Anyways, I appreciate you for coming on. This is my Wednesday called The Shift, and I hold this training every Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon. And then Mondays, I have my Real Estate Edge. That's at 9 a.m. every Monday. I like to do this Wednesday because it's hump day. It's the middle of the week. Get you ready for the weekend, give you some ideas. But this here, you need to start working on this immediately. 2026 is going to be an absolute great market. Of course, if there's war or natural disaster in your area, that would affect your market. But the way it's going right now, the market looks great. I appreciate you guys coming in. And until next Wednesday, I hope to see you again. Thanks again for the support. Bye now.